how about we play some Dungeons and Dragons?
I'm there.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Awesome. Well, let's, as we do, let's start out with a quick recap from last week. You attempted to figure out how to get into this damn box that you've been carrying around. Unfortunately, you did expose the box on the deck of the ship. Luckily, Kyle was the only crew member that really noticed it. He was also duped into thinking that it was the ashes of your family, which was good. You worked with Theo to try to dispel the magic of this strange box, but found that it's a pretty powerful enchantment and that you were unable to break through its magical powers. You did a bit of planning for the next phase of your adventures in the Saltmarsh region. Specifically, you sent Fritz off to inquire about obtaining a ballista. He went to the Carpenters Guild and was able to gather some information about how much a ballista would cost and when he might be able to, when the Carpenters Guild might be able to deliver and install the ballista for your ship. You paid a visit as a team to the Dralian estate, following up on news that you had learned that there had been another break-in and an assault a night or two previous to your return to Saltmarsh. You met with Sophia Dralian. She indicated that a secret room that even she was seemingly unaware of had been broken into, tossed, and items had potentially been stolen, including a family heirloom, a scimitar that had been gifted to Aubric by their great-grandfather Rodrigo Dralian. And apparently this highly valued scimitar, this family heirloom, has the initials RD stamped on the bottom of the hilt of the sword. Nonetheless, you gathered a little bit of information about the assailant who broke into the Dralian estate and then assaulted Sophia Dralian's personal bodyguard. Apparently, the description that was provided by her bodyguard was that this was a tall, possibly human individual who was also left-handed. It was your sort of inference based on the wounds that the guard had sustained. You visited the secret room. Theo was able to convince Sophia to allow him to take the skull that was on the desk as part of the investigation. Byron, at first trying to purchase, but then borrowing the book How to Speak Infernal in 10 Days as part of his shenanigans, shall we say, and his interest in the legitimacy of this damn book. From there, you went to the town council and you met with pretty much the entire council was there. You were graciously welcomed. You were thanked and gifts were bestowed. The reward that was promised to you for breaking up the Sigurd Snake Eyes smuggling ring. You then spoke with the captain of the Myrmidon, Captain Ernst Thoth, who described to you a plan that he and his commanders had put together for an assault on the Sahuagin lair, with your role being an attack force that would go in ahead of the main battalion of Marines, disrupt the Sahuagin defenses, ensure that the gate on the north side of their stronghold would be open so that the naval forces could then swarm the upper floors of the stronghold, while their new allies, the Colianth and the Mermen, would swarm through an underwater entrance, thereby pushing the Sahuagin towards the middle in a pincer attack. A plan that you accepted and decided to get involved with after some discussion. You accepted the mission that would pay you upon completion 700 gold, but also with the indication that if you were particularly successful in disrupting the Sahuagin defenses and or, as they said, cutting the head from their leadership, that there was more reward available for you. Byron outright accused Anders Solmore of murdering Aubric, which was interesting. The team shared their theory with Fireborn, who indicated that he would look into it and try to pull some threads and see if anything shook out while you were on your mission. Theo gave Ethel, the town hall receptionist, 5 pounds of hard candy to replenish her supplies. That was pretty sweet.
He makes friends.
Yep, she was pretty jazzed as her resources were being depleted. Towards the end of the day, you sat down to take care of a couple of things, and Fritz indicated that there were, 3 candidates for the job of cook. You interviewed 3 individuals, Emil Alphonse, Dyron Parr, and Hitari Sanjet. And after a pretty thorough interview process and vetting, you decided to hire Emil as your ship's cook and added him to the roster of your crew. Rhunar took some time to have a face-to-face conversation with Sales to try to get to know her a little bit better, and she indicated that she was fairly capable and would be willing to help in any way. Byron tactfully reprimanded the guys for their failure to fulfill his mission that he assigned them to gather information from the local taverns while getting obnoxiously drunk, as it turns out.
And we were very proud of him.
Yep. He really seemed to turn a new leaf in terms of the previous encounters that he'd had that day, which were full of intimidation. And this particular encounter, he took a different approach. Theo went down to his quarters and threw on the old wizard's hat, the tattered pointed black hat, and was studying the strange book of spells when Byron came in, indicating that he had been trying to study Aubric's journal and had hoped to utilize the luck stone to improve his chances of deciphering Aubric's strange cryptic codes, but that the luck stone was nowhere to be found. And after kind of scratching your head a little bit, Theo, you put your hands in your pockets and discovered that the stone was indeed in your pocket again. That was towards the end of the night. We can pick up there if there's anything else that you want to do before nightfall.
First of all, Theo's gonna just stare at that. I didn't take this back. Did you give this to me and I missed it?
You thief!
That's a nice trick.
If I were a thief,
That was... I can't believe you got by me. I thought I was good at this kind of stuff.
I didn't take this from you.
It's okay, man. I'm impressed. I'm not mad. I'm thoroughly impressed.
Okay, then I'm gonna give this to you, and let's see where that goes.
I will take it. I will put it in my pocket.
Before
And
we
I will
do that,
put both my hands up in the air for a second. Do it again, dude. Do it again.
Theo sighs, and on a whim shoves his hand into his pocket.
You feel the strange, smooth rock in your pocket again.
Looks like you're stuck with it.
And he just pulls it back out.
I cannot believe it, dude.
What?
I'm gonna reach into my backpack and I'm gonna pull out like let me see what I have in my backpack real quick. Screw it. I'm just gonna give you 10 gold. Like, you know what? I'm blown away. You obviously are the sleight of hand champion, not me.
I am shit at sleight of hand, for the record. This is...
You liar. Do you want my thieves' tools too?
Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna let this go for a minute because we don't have time to worry about it. However, you know what we should do? I have this skull, and I was going to see if it opened the box.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's go into this private
Forgot about
quarters.
that.
So yeah, we'll move into a private area of the ship and shut all doors.
Yeah,
No
easy
decks in
enough.
private quarters, 'cause
Yep.
that's where I had the hat on.
And now I will dump the box out.
He was gonna pull out the skull, get over, and put it on the box.
You and Byron are intently watching as you place the skull on top of the box, and you watch. You look at each other. Theo, you raise an eyebrow, but nothing happens.
Hey, it was worth a shot.
Maybe we should try hitting it into the box. I'm gonna pick up the skull and I'm gonna hit the box with the skull.
How,
No, don't
how
do
hard?
Like I'm tapping my knuckles on it, but it's the skull instead of my knuckles.
Okay. Doesn't seem to do anything.
I'm gonna look at Theo, and a little bit of
No,
craziness
no,
is gonna enter his eyes.
no. We may need the skull for something later. You don't put the skull on your desk because you like the look of it.
I will sigh. This just doesn't. This isn't fair.
It's an imperfect work, my friend.
I think maybe we should just get rid of this box. We should
What?
sell. We should sell it for 10 grand.
Drellion's box? No way, dude.
Here's the other thing. How do we know there's anything in there?
I mean, unless the box itself is the thing.
That
You
is
mean
where
like-
I'm.
you
Well,
mean
then we
like
need to
if,
find out where it
Drellion-
goes.
Hey, can you shake it? Is it too heavy?
It's very
It's too heavy. I cannot shake this. I think if all three of us work together, we could probably shake it.
Just out of curiosity, did Rhunar, did he ever actually converse with Drellion either before the salvage operation or after?
Well, Rhunar wasn't around before the salvage operation.
Oh, right,
So-
because you were employed by
Yeah.
Wolgar Windrune.
So the first time I ever met Drellion was when we dropped it off to him. And so, you know, I didn't really know many questions to ask at that point.
Hmm.
I don't think any of us asked what it was, but he seemed pretty excited to have it. Like it was going to change his fortunes in life, basically.
Well, yeah, and you would also know, Rhunar, that shortly after the box was returned, his business started to pick up, and he started to expand his operations.
Right.
So, I mean, it could be a coincidence, but how many coincidences are there really?
Dun, dun, dun.
It's very mysterious.
He's terribly mysterious.
Well,
No, not is. Perhaps there's not the kind of thing where there's something inside it. Maybe it's something else. A ruin. There's a lot of shit it could be.
Honestly, what if it is like? What if it's a weapon? What if we fired this out of a catapult at something?
Magic.
it seems like it was probably more like useful to him in some way, wouldn't you think? Like if his business actually improved after he got it. I don't know.
Try something. And
I see.
Theo pulls out the luck stone, and he puts it on the box.
Okay.
Just lets it sit there for a minute. Nothing happens, I assume.
No.
Do me a favor. Pick that up now, my friend.
I will pick up the luck stone. I'll put it in my pocket.
Theo will now check his pocket.
The stone is in your pocket, Theo.
And Theo just pulls it out. Well, so much for that idea. I don't know. I can tell you it's magical, but that's about it.
Do you think the answer's in the journal?
I would say that there are definitely hints in the journal somewhere. We probably just haven't gotten to it yet.
So maybe.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to keep searching the journal.
So maybe using the luck stone, we could get more info out of the journal.
You know, I'm absolutely down. That's actually exactly what I was planning on using it for.
Yeah, but will it stay with you long enough to do that?
That's the problem there.
I don't think so.
Now, if you hold it in your hand, does it zap back to his pocket?
I have no idea. And just hand him the Luckstone again.
So you hold it in your hand, palm
Yeah, I'm
open.
gonna cup it.
Okay.
I'm gonna cup it.
Okay.
And do I feel it still?
Yeah, you feel the stone. I mean, you have your open palm, right? It's just sitting in your palm, or did you close your palm around
No,
it?
I'm gonna close my hand around it.
Yeah, you kind of feel it. But when you open your palm, it's gone.
Oh,
Okay.
sweet Scheherazade.
So, whoever is good at investigation should maybe just hold it in their hand, open hand, and then read the journal with your other hand.
I don't
That
think
would
it
work.
works.
You know what? I'm just gonna take the journal out. I'm gonna hand it to Theo, and I'm gonna say, "Decipher me a chapter."
Go for it.
How am I the nerd here?
Because you have the Luckstone.
Okay, well, you're lucky that I'm a man of letters. That's all I'm going to say. Sweet bibbity bobbity. We should run this. We should have someone run this skull back to the Dralian estate. We don't need it.
We can do it in 10 days because I have to go back there anyways.
Fair enough. Okay, I will spend some time investigating yon book using yon Luckstone.
All right, so essentially you take about an hour of time. And with the Luckstone, you're going to gain an advantage. The ability check for the journal is investigation. So go ahead and roll investigation with advantage. Nice. Really nice.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Okay. So you actually discover something quite interesting. Let me share it with you.
No, I found the section where he wrote about his wife in vivid detail.
You have uncovered the information in entry number 3. And I just shared that with everybody. Is there anything else that the other two of you would like to do before the end of the night?
Is there more pages, or do we just get the first page?
Oh yeah, there's a second page. There you go.
So which one is this journal entry
3.
3? Well, it doesn't say anything about the box.
Who is Armand?
Isn't that one of your order?
Oh,
Better question. What is Via Medio?
That's the area, the jungle.
Yeah, the Amadio jungle.
Amadio Jungle.
And Solana. How do we know Solana?
He was the captain of the ship. That I found the box on, right?
Nope. Was the he's the captain of a ship called the Griffin Wing.
Oh, that's right.
And that's the connection to Irin's brother. Irin's brother was, you guys found out from Anders Solmar earlier in the adventure that his brother Kuda had been working on the Griffin Wing.
So, well, I wish he was here to see this.
Whoa, that's cool.
Wait.
Yeah, Irin's here.
It seems like a important clue for me.
Very important and personal. We totally understand. Wait a minute. And Theo flips back through a couple of pages. Matreus. Isn't Matreus one of the sailors or one of the officers? on the ship.
He was the guy
Tiberian
that was like-
Matreus? Tiberian Matreus is like the Grand Master of the Gradsul Lodge of Seekers.
Yeah, he's a bigwig in Gradzul.
Okay, making sure I've got all the names correct.
Was or is?
Well, you would probably know this. Roll a history check for me, Byron. And we'll figure out if you do or not.
I feel like he's more legendary than currently active.
Wow, nice. Yeah, you've never met him. He actually he disappeared on a expedition to the far south in the Amadio jungle. He was exploring the Amadio and looking for some artifacts and on official business for the Gradzul Seekers.
Ah,
Nice roll.
thank you. I did it myself.
Okay, this is full of interesting mystery, but I think looking at what we have here and what we know, I think we can say this box came out of the Amadio on that latest expedition. So we may have to go there to figure anything out. I don't know. Any other bright ideas?
Well, not right now. No.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna have to read through this.
Probably a good idea. You can do that tonight. We should probably all get some sleep.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
I feel like every time I reread it, I pick up something different,
I'm having that same experience.
and like,
I know.
and then I start running away with it in my head, and it always leads back to I need to keep searching.
Almost like that's what it's for.
No kidding.
Yeah, maybe.
We're all talking in like one of the quarters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all by ourselves.
Likely you're in the quarters
and Irin's
that
with us.
that Theo stays in because he's been busy studying for the last hour, and now you're kind of there getting updated on what he's discovered.
Do you guys think we're paying Fritz too much?
Yep.
Why didn't you guys say anything?
I tried to, but I mean, I don't
thought
know. I like the guys more. If we're gonna pay anyone, pay the guys.
All right, we got to figure out what's his position on the boat again.
Quartermaster?
He's
He's a quartermaster.
pretty. I mean, and he did prove useful in Saltmarsh at the docks. So I don't know. Maybe
He
for
has to earn his
now.
pay for the moment, if nothing else.
Yeah, for the moment.
It might
But
not
we
hurt-
should renegotiate.
Yeah, it might not hurt at some point to figure out how much a quartermaster is usually paid.
Would Theo know that with his background as a sailor?
Yeah. Absolutely. You'd know that unskilled labor typically is about $1 a day. And then for someone of sort of officer or skilled laborers can be anywhere from $5 to 250 gold, depending on what their position is.
Right. Because I rolled before to figure that out, didn't I?
Probably. Yeah, so I mean, it depends on...
15 gold a day?
Right.
Yeah. So on the scale of 0 to 200, I was like, oh, okay.
That's fair.
But, I don't know if that's legit.
He's keeping the man happy, and he's doing his job well. So I say we
Yeah.
stay with it.
Yeah, 15 gold. I think he's earned 15 gold, to be honest. At least for one day.
Speaking of which, I suppose we should be keeping track of how much everybody gets paid every day.
We don't have to worry about anyone except for Fritz for, I believe, and don't quote me on this, 7 more days.
'Cause you
Yeah,
paid
you're good on
those guys in
the
advance.
six crew members have been paid for 10 days by Byron. So you've got 7 more days. That's correct. You just hired Alphonse for 2 gold a day. And then Fritz is 15 gold a day. I don't think you paid him yet for the shore leave portion. And usually during shore leave they get paid half pay if they're, if they're just kind of part-timing it. If they're, working for you full-time while you're at shore, then you'd pay them a full wage. So by the looks of it, on a daily basis, your payroll is 23 gold a day.
We need an accountant.
I agreed with the cook to have 2 per day, right?
Yep.
2 gold. And then each crew gets...
So you've got 6 crew members plus a cook plus Fritz, which equals 23 gold a day in just your payroll.
Yeah, okay.
And we've had them for 3 days now.
Even,
So far we owe 45 gold to Fritz at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Unless we
much?
don't pay him full 45.
That would be full.
45.
That'd be full wage for the time in
Yeah.
port. But you could probably get away paying him half wage.
And giving him like
Although he was working for you
37 and a half.
most of the
38.
time.
So I'd say 45. He got us into the port too. He got us into the port.
You
Yeah.
done good.
Yeah, he done good. Pay him full wages. But
Alright,
I paid the other 6, so
All right, I'll before I retire this evening, I'll give 45 gold to Fritz.
Thank you, Captain. Much obliged.
Thank you.
We'll be departing in the morning, yeah?
Yes. Make sure we're ready to go.
Will do. If you need anything else, you know where to find me. I'll be on decks.
All right.
And he heads back up.
Do we post a watch in port?
Yes,
Probably, right?
absolutely.
Yes.
And Fritz has that taken care of. You guys are welcome to join the watch if you want to, but he is also taking care of assigning watches.
Theo will definitely stand watch for a while.
are the guys on one of the watches
Yeah, most likely.
like together?
Probably not together necessarily, but
I won't take a watch.
okay.
I'll take a watch.
Okay. That sounds
Irin
good.
will take my watch.
We'll
Yeah,
take the
Irin
first
will
3
take a watch.
watches, and then we'll leave that last one, the super late one.
Okay. And
the
usually,
guys.
the way it's been, Fritz tells you, is that he usually has two of the men on watch at a time. Make sure that nobody falls asleep. So, but yeah, easy enough. Unless there's anything else that you guys want to do, we can sort of move into preparations and for the next day. The evening goes relatively uneventful. You conduct and complete your watches. It's kind of noisy in port this evening. There's a lot going on. A lot of drunken revelry happening at the various locations around the docks district. But you're all able to get a good night's rest. And as the sun is just starting to peek over the horizon and shine its light on Saltmarsh, Rhunar, there's a knock at your door as you're just getting out of bed. Captain,
Who is it?
it's Fritz. Captain, you up?
Yeah, I'm up. What's up?
Oh, there's somebody from the Navy to see you.
All right, I'll meet him out there.
I'll have them wait for you. About this time, the rest of you are emerging out onto the main deck, and it's a beautiful day. The gulls are kind of flying around above you. The wind is coming in from the ocean, bringing the smell of the sea, the lapping of the waves up against the hull. You can look out towards the azure sea, and you can see that there are a variety of fishing boats that have already either just recently departed or have already been out fishing for some time. As you know, fishermen tend to get started quite early, a little bit earlier than sailors do. Nonetheless, you emerge up onto the deck in the fresh air of Saltmarsh, and there is indeed a gentleman kind of pacing back and forth on the main deck.
Hello.
Ah, good day. I take it you're Rhunar Deg. And
Yes,
he
that's
reaches
me.
out his hand. He is dressed in full Keeland Navy regalia uniform. He's got some medals pinned to his chest. He looks to be someone that you recognize. This is Myler Orvid, the man that you had saved from being, saved from Kreb and his gang, unknown what they were going to do with him. But he's there, and he kind of shakes your hand and nods as the rest of you sort of emerge and come out. He says, "My name's Myler Orvid, and first of all, I'd like to say thank you for helping me out the other night. That was quite embarrassing, and I'm not sure what would have happened if you and your team hadn't been there to intervene. So thank you, gentlemen."
It's no
you're-
problem. We've all fallen for a honeypot before.
Any
Yes.
idea what that was all about? We're glad we could help.
I'm not sure. I honestly don't remember a whole lot of the night. I was severely wounded at some point, and well, I'm not sure.
Do you know why anyone would target you in the first place?
Well, not really. Other than, what we do around here is patrol the sea. If it's, this was Krebs' gang, they're well-known ne'er-do-wells in town. I can only imagine they were trying to get the drop on something that we were up to. It's no big secret that Krebs involved with smuggling in this region. And part of our job as patrols in this area is to shut those smugglers down.
We heard the Navy took Kreb for questioning. Do they still have him?
Kreb has been, let's say, taken care of.
Taken care of.
That's their way of saying
That,
they let
that
him
sounds
go.
a little dark.
I really can't say much more than that, but he won't be a problem around here anymore. Now,
Well, that's
gentlemen,
good to know.
I come here on official business for the Navy, so if you don't mind, and he has like a small briefcase, and he sets it down on a barrel near one of the masts, or near the mast, and he pops it open. He says, "We've got some items that will help you with your mission. I wanted to make sure that you had these before you left port." He says, "I've got," and you look in this case, and it's a nice wooden, pretty nondescript case. But as he opens it, you can see that there's like this lining, almost like a felt kind of plush lining, and there are 8 vials inside this. And he holds one of them up, and he says, "We've got some potions here that we think will be very useful for your infiltration of the Sahuagin lair." And he holds one up, and you can see as you look at it, you kind of squint in the morning sun as it's coming up over the horizon, and you can see this fog-like liquid inside of it. And he kind of shakes it a little bit, and you can see that it's definitely liquid, but it almost seems like it's the fog of the early morning over the ocean or something like that. And he hands the vial to you, Rhunar, and he says, "This will essentially turn you into a mist that will allow you to infiltrate small openings, cracks, and crevices, perhaps helping you to make your way through a tight spot." And out
shut
of
the
character,
briefcase
these are potions of gaseous form. There are 4 of them, one for each of you. And then he takes another vial. Sorry, Byron, but he takes the other vial and he holds it up, and it looks like it's empty. And he says, "This is an interesting little number. You drink this potion, and you will become invisible."
Oh,
Nice.
And he hands that vial to whoever wants to look at it, and it looks like there's nothing in it. But when you hold it and shake it and kind of twist it back and forth, there's definitely a liquid in there. You just can't see anything. It just looks like an empty vial.
oh my! I'm gonna take the invisibility one, and I'm gonna put it back in the briefcase, and I'm gonna shut the briefcase.
Well, he's got more
I'm
to
gonna
show
pull
us,
it off
man.
the barrel.
Let him finish it first.
He's got 3 more to show us.
No,
man.
no, that's it. So you've got
That's it. 4 and 4.
Yep, there's 4 potions of invisibility and 4 potions of gaseous form.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. So I have 7 of them, and I'm walking towards the cabin briskly.
As you walk away, he turns to the rest of you that are standing there and he says, so with those items, I hope that will allow you to effectively enter the lair. As mentioned previously, I assume by Captain Todt, the plan for your team would be to enter ahead of the naval forces and disrupt the Sahuagin defenses, specifically making sure that when the naval marines mount their assault, that they'll be able to enter through the north gate with little to no resistance. We do know that the gate is guarded and locked, and your job, and I have no doubt in my mind that you'll be able to accomplish this successfully, is to take care of that gate. If you can do additional damage to their defenses, perhaps taking out some of their leadership, that will even more greatly facilitate our attack and hopefully reduce the number of casualties that we may take in this assault. We're not 100% sure exactly what sort of defenses they have in terms of numbers, but anything that you can do, Rhunar, would be extremely helpful to protecting our soldiers, our
If there
Marines.
is one thing we are good at, it's being disruptive.
Now, our ship, the Myrmidon, will be in position just to the south of the Sahuagin lair, and he lays out a map on this barrel now, and he shows you where the Saltmarsh is, the Kingfisher River emptying into the Bay of Javan, and then he shows you where the Sahuagin Fortress is, up to the west of Saltmarsh.
Do they have it like indicated like where they think we should like park our boat?
Yeah, so he says, we'll be there ahead of you, and we suggest that you anchor your ship and use your smaller boat to sneak in towards the entrance. Now, he points at the map. Let me, I guess I have the map, so why not point at it? He says, you want to anchor your ship in this general area here. There we go. Right there. And paddle into the shoreline. Now there's 2 options. If you head to the south of the fortress, it'll be mostly a land assault. You'll be able to cross the Hool Marshes in this area. If you decide to go to the north or to the west of the fortress, you'll have to ford a small outlet of the river, but it will be quicker to get there. So you'll have to make that decision based on whatever you think is best for your team, Rhunar.
All right.
So the northern one would be like in this area, or coming in south and then traversing over land. My suggestion and my advice is to initiate your infiltration just before dawn. Be swift. Take out the guards, take out the defenses. The naval assault will commence at dawn. So you'll have a short window in which to execute your mission.
Got
We
it.
hope to give you enough time to do what needs to be done. That means that you'll need to potentially leave under the cover of night and spend a night in the Hool Marshes before initiating your assault.
I've slept in worse.
I'm gonna come back out of the wherever I went with the potions, having successfully stashed them.
Okay.
How long are these gonna last? These potions?
The potion that will turn you into a mist should last approximately 1 hour. And the same with the invisibility. Now the kicker is that you can end the spell with a thought. an out of character as a bonus action, you can essentially end the enchantment. But
And that's
with the
instantaneous?
correct. Now, with the invisibility and with this mystical, misty, gaseous form, you will be unable to make any sort of attacks in that form. And just know that if you do attempt to make an attack while invisible, the invisibility spell will end. So that's something to keep in mind. These are really for stealth and for infiltration in terms of assault. You'll have to utilize the skills that you have, which we know are more than sufficient.
Right. Well, we
And
thank you for
are
these.
there any side effects?
Not that we're aware of, but we haven't done any extensive studies. The Surgeon General's warnings have not come out for either of these two particular potions.
Headache, nausea, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sudden death.
Gastrointestinal discomfort.
Mm-hmm.
These are all wonderful, and I hate all of you. Gentlemen, shall we set sail?
I do have
Wait.
one question for you before I leave, and if please forgive my inquisitiveness, but I know that you've been. He kind of looks around a little bit. He goes, "I know you've been conducting an investigation of this whole Aubrek Dralian murder. I'm curious. Do you have a theory on why he was murdered?"
I think it was Anders Solmore, and I think he did it because he wanted something that Aubrek had.
And I think someone has infiltrated the Navy and is using it as a cover for some sort of other terrifying work and might be using agents. But, hey, that's just a theory, right?
Wow. Do you have anything to back this up?
No! But, it does
That's
make
quite
things...
an accusation.
Well, I was trying to make the point that, we don't have a lot to go on, but we are very concerned that the Navy seems to be sort of involved, but keeping us at a distance about it.
Interesting theory.
Is there something we need to know is happening with the Navy?
I can't imagine that the Navy would have any reason to get involved with some sort of a domestic matter amongst merchants in a small backwater swamp town like this. But I'm certainly just the first mate of a single ship in the Grand Keelan Navy, so I'm not sure if I would know much about that.
Who was targeted very specifically by a bunch of people attached to it, my friend.
I can see how that might look strange to you.
Well, it strikes me that if I am going to actually say I don't think you're involved at all, which makes me think you should watch your back.
Well, that's always good advice in most situations, so thank you for the reminder.
You're on the Myrmidon, right?
Correct. I serve under Captain Todt.
So Captain Todt is the captain.
Correct. Well, interesting theories. I certainly didn't expect that.
Do you have any theories?
No, not really, and I honestly don't really care that much, to be completely upfront about it.
Why not? He was an incredible trade asset in the region.
So you say.
What, you're not familiar with Aubrek Dralian's extensive trade networks and taxes paid in your name, basically?
No, that's not my that's not really my bailiwick. I don't deal with taxation or trade. I'm merely a navalman.
Oh. Well, if you do happen to hear anything about Aubrek Dralian from anyone else, and even if it's just a far-fetched theory, but I mean, I'd love to hear it, especially coming from the Navy, who are incredible assets for this region.
Roll a persuasion check.
Not like that.
Well, I will certainly keep my eyes and ears open. Gentlemen,
You do that, my good
I
sir.
wish you the best of luck, and a swift success in your mission. Remember that the efforts that you exert in this matter will greatly help our young men who will be storming the fortress right behind you. So we thank you and they thank you.
All right.
And he bows quickly, and then he turns, he pivots on his foot, and he walks off.
Theo waits for him to be well out of earshot and then goes, "That man knows something about what's going on." Yup.
I think you're right.
Hey, you remember when we were talking to Captain Fireborn, and we brought up Dralian, and the Navy guy was like, "Dralian? What about Dralian?" And he was like really super interested.
Mm-hmm.
Was that Captain Tote?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
No, it wasn't.
Nope. That was Lieutenant Jalis Venn of
Yeah,
the
Jalis
Bannockburn.
That's right.
Jalis Venn. Jalis Venn. I need to write that down.
Either way, there is something that smells there, and well, we'll worry about whether we put it in or not later.
Yeah, we have other things to worry about now.
Yep. We should sail there early, and I will jump off the boat and infiltrate the Bannockburn.
I
And I
need
will-
you to
Oh,
just
boy.
stay on task, okay?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep.
One
We
mission
infiltrate
at
the
a time.
Bannockburn. Actually, no. We infiltrate the Myrmidon later.
The Myrmidon lair. Wait, isn't this Sahuagin?
The Myrmidon later.
Oh, Myrmidon later.
I'm
I
sorry.
heard lair.
No, it's okay. First, we deal with the Sahuagin and the aftermath of
Sahuagin.
the creepy fish people. And the aftermath of a battle is a great time to slip in and out of places, for the record.
My man. I'm gonna give you a high five.
Theo high fives him back in just like the most confused possible way. Just, okay?
While I'm high fiving him, I'm gonna attempt to snag the luckstone out of his pocket with a sleight of hand check.
All right. Given his passive perception, he notices you putting your hand in his pocket.
Theo
Oh.
does not stop him, but he does make like intense eye contact the entire time.
I'm going to
Awkward.
cup the stone and look him in the eyes.
Cup the stone. Oh man.
Theo is just going to maintain eye contact and go, "Captain, are we ready to cast off?
What are you two doing over there?
Nothing.
Captain, are we ready to
Nothing.
cast off?"
Irin's like, we should probably get going.
We're
Yeah,
casting
let's
off. Make ready. Hoist the sail and just goes into full first off.
You don't need to panic, man. It's okay.
With that order given, the crew snaps into operations, and it's as you look upon the crew, Rhunar and Theo, the first mate Theo, you see a well-oiled operation, and within minutes they've made ready. They've hoisted the anchor. You have left the docks, and as you depart the Kingfisher River and enter into the Azure Sea, they unfurl the sails and they drop the sails, and the wind catches them immediately, and with a lurch the ship moves forward into the ocean. Now, as the captain and navigator, Rhunar, I'm assuming that you have looked over the charts and the maps, and you have studied and charted a course. So what I'd like you to do is make a nature or survival check for me. Add +1 because you've got a map.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Survival.
Yeah, survival or nature, your choice. Nice. Yes, it's pretty easy given the maps and the preparation and the consultation that you just had with Mylar Orvid showing you the locations, but you chart a course successfully, and the helmsman, your first mate, Theo, will now make his own piloting check, which is also either a nature or survival check. You're going to get actually a +1 for the map and a +1 for help a successful course charted by your captain. So +2 total.
All right, just a second, because nature is an intelligence skill. So total of 10 with +2.
Okay, 10 is what you needed. So you just squeaked it in there. You set the course, you follow the course successfully. One thing that I would like you guys to do is each of you roll a d20, just straight d20 for me. It's a beautiful day. The temperature seems to be normal for the season. It's a cool day, but not cold. There is a strong wind blowing, so you actually are able to take advantage of the strong wind, and it helps you in your timing, certainly. It's a beautiful, clear day as you race off into the ocean, headed west towards the Sahuagin Fortress. As you go, there are obviously things that you can do. It's going to take a full day. You're going to have to spend a night on the ship, so it's a day-and-a-half journey to get in position. Then you'll have essentially a half a day to travel by a small boat and on foot to get to where you want to be for when the next day comes and you're able to mount your assault. So during this day, I'm assuming that the helmsman and the captain are taking care of their traveling duties, but there's certainly other things that you can do. You can also delegate to other members of the crew, specifically, the quartermaster can pilot the ship if you give him a course to follow, especially given the roles that you have. So, but you do have time to do what you want to do.
Cool. I'm going to delegate another ship inspection to the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Have them just look it up and down, make sure things are tied down right, make sure there's no rotting, there doesn't need to be anything, nothing needs to be tarred, hammered down, nothing like that.
Okay.
And while they're doing that, I'm going to start the first day's worth of study on how to speak Infernal in 10 days.
Okay. Great. Roll an investigation check for me for the studying. And roll a persuasion check for the leadership. Okay. Yeah, the guys are fired up and they're excited that you've delegated this to them. You can tell that they want to try to maybe make up for the fact that they kind of botched the last mission that you gave them. So they get to work right away with no questions asked. In terms of the investigation, you spend quite a bit of time reading this book, and it's just gobbledygook, and you're having a really hard time with the initial attempt.
Okay.
What would the rest of you like to be doing throughout the day?
Rhunnar's gonna sharpen his swords. Get ready for the attack.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna walk around the deck, encouraging the men.
Captain. They kind of nod as you walk by, and they're cleaning things, they're organizing, they're manipulating the sails, and tightening things down, and everybody seems to be relatively busy, at least initially. And then once you get out to kind of a cruising speed and things are sort of taken care of, you can see they're sort of kind of just keeping an eye on things to make sure nothing goes awry. But they're yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do we have any kind of like looking glass thing?
Not to my knowledge, unless you have something in your inventory. Okay.
I gotta get one of those.
Hold on. Checking. I swear to gosh, I thought I had one that we picked up from somewhere. I don't, but I feel like someone picked one up.
I'll take out the technical device and point to the spot where something's missing, as a reminder.
Does it look
That's
like-
not a spyglass.
I checked Irin's inventory and he doesn't have anything. No
I'm crazy
spyglass.
then.
or
Never
anything.
mind.
All right. So you're, Rhunar, you're sort of mentally and physically preparing for the battle, getting your equipment ready, kind of going through your, it's training for you. I mean, you've been a Marine for quite a while, and there's sort of a game day ritual that you go through to get ready for these types of confrontations.
That's pacing the deck.
A lot of pacing, sharpening and pacing.
Yeah.
How about you, Theo? Is there anything that you want to accomplish throughout the day?
The only he'll spend most of the time on deck helping out with the maintenance tasks, doing first officer shit, and manning the wheel. But at one point he will delegate the wheel to someone appropriate,
Probably Fritz. Yeah.
And go find Byron and go, where did you put the potions?
What? Potions?
Yes, the potions that we need. He's doing it very quietly.
Oh!
Yeah, the ones we need to see things.
Oh,
wanna
dude,
make
I
sure
hit
they're-
those.
Yeah, where, so I know that they actually work.
In your quarters in that little secret chamber thing.
Okay, back in a minute. And Theo's just gonna go down and use the magic eyes to make sure they're actually magic.
Yeah, as you call forth this magical power from your patron, your eyes go blue, and you look at these. You open the crate and look at these vials, and all of them are shimmering with a magical essence.
Gonna put everything back, rehide it, come back up. Okay, we're good. Or at least they're not mundane poison if they're poison. And he goes back to, we're manning the helm and, working things upon the deck, as it were.
Theo, roll a d20 for me. Okay.
A9.
One of the crew members, Korga, yells out, "Hey, Theo, to the starboard side!" And you look out and you see a strange mass of birds kind of flocking around the surface of the water up ahead as you approach off the starboard side. And as it gets closer, you can see that there are seagulls and some other types of large raptors that are landing on the water almost, it looks like, and then alighting as if spooked, and then coming back and kind of circling around the water.
Hey, Captain, there's a thing happening over there.
I think it's whales breaching.
Could it
Wait,
be
that's not whales breaching.
something big hunting fish?
No, that looks like there's something on the surface that the people are waiting to die. Might be shipwreck or man overboard, something like that.
Might as well check it out.
Yeah, let's just bear to the side of it though. Let's not roll up straight on it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can chart a course pretty easily, Theo, that takes you close but not too close to this swarm of gulls and raptors. And as you get closer, you see that. Roll a nature check.
Anybody decent at that?
No, but I'm
Theo
going
is
for it.
normally.
Oh, jeez.
Oh man, never mind.
Yeah, you're not sure, but you see these large raptors that are coming down. They're swooping down and grasping at something in the water. They are crimson red, and they look ferocious. And as you get closer, you can see they have these dagger-like beaks, and they are tearing at what appears to be the carcass of a large whale that is just floating. And as you get closer to the carcass, you can see that there are gulls perched on the floating husk of this giant cetacean. And there are also, as you look down into the water, you can see that there are reef sharks that are pulling at it from below. And it seems as though it's a virtual feast for these gulls and hawks and sharks and other creatures. And you can smell it now too as you get closer. It just reeks of decay and this giant waterlogged carcass just floating in the ocean.
I say we keep going.
Oh
Yeah,
we're not
let's keep
stopping.
going.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
You continue for the rest of the day, the wind providing a substantial boost in your speed and the morale of your team. Eventually the day starts to wane and the sun starts to drop below, or towards the horizon I should say, and night is looming. Fritz comes to you, Rhunar, and says, "Yeah, Captain, I'm assuming we should make anchor and rest for the night, press on in the morning."
Yeah, let's do that.
Very good.
2-man watches too.
Absolutely, always. And
Theo will take a watch.
they furl the sails and drop anchor in a sort of a protected area along the coastline, the best they can find at least in this area.
So Dave, do we still have more to ocean travel to do to get there?
You have about a half a day ocean travel after this.
And that's when we get on the little boat?
Then you get on the little boat and head to make landfall.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay, got it.
Yep. So they drop anchor and sort of batten down the hatches and sort of get things ready for the evening. Alphonse is busy as you've probably made your way through the galley at one point or another. Alphonse is in there. He seems to be happy, excited to be cooking, and he's busy getting dinner prepared for the crew.
How's his food so far?
Well, you haven't really had much of it. There's just been sort of like the lunch of the day was sort of like fruit and dried meats and stuff. But he's cooking up a stew right now, so you're about to find out. Eventually, the dinner bell rings, and let's take a look and see how he does. It's decent. It depends on your perspective, whether or not it's better than decent or not. I mean, for a lot of the crew members, they're pretty happy with it.
All right, that's all I care about.
It's better than any of us would have made.
And he seems to be pretty pleased as he kind of watches the response from the crew, and they're a little hard on him because he's a stranger and he's new to the crew, so they haven't fully accepted him into their sort of brotherhood. Remember, all these guys have been working together for, well, you're not sure, but for a while. They had all been working under Sigurd Snake Eyes for a period of time, so they know each other pretty well. And he's sort of the greenhorn in the crew, and sort of give him a little bit of a hard time as you would expect, but he seems to be fairly pleased at his performance. The night arrives, and the watches are conducted. Is there anything that the three of you would like to do this evening?
After my failed attempt trying to learn Infernal, I'm going to shut that book with the plan of never opening it again. And I'm going to open up Obric's journal and begin investigating that with hopefully... Well, actually, no, I'll keep them both open side by side. I'll see if there's any correlation between the two, but for the most part, I'm going to be studying Obric's journal.
Okay. And are you going to use your long rest to do it, or just a short rest?
I'll use my long rest to do it.
Okay. So you'll be studying the journal over the course of the evening. What are the rest of you going to be doing?
Theo
I
is
got-
going to summon his Legion of the Loyal Undying from the depths, make sure they're all fed, get their guppy food. Other than that, nothing in specific. Although Theo will grab sales and go, just to ask, are you any good with numbers?
Well, I mean, define good.
Someone to keep track of payroll.
That seems like it should be easy enough.
Have you ever done anything like it?
No.
Okay, well, congratulations. You're the apprentice accountant. Enjoy that.
Okay. Does that mean I'm in charge of the finances? And she kind of gives you a wink.
If you are, that means we're all going to keep it above board because we like these people, and also several of them are fond of killing people by shoving rapiers in their throats.
Well, how much does the job pay?
I'm not giving you a raise.
Let me think about it.
Okay, maybe
she
a raise. if
she
we
kind of
figure-
grins at you a little bit.
Fine. Go back to. Do the cannons work, by the way? We don't have any cannons. Never mind. We need guns to have guns. We need guns.
Yeah. Well, we
Um,
ordered one.
Oh,
ordered a
you mean like a
ballista.
ballista?
Yeah.
Very well.
That was it. That's all I've got.
Okay. Anything for you, Rhunar?
No, I'm just gonna stand on deck until I get tired
Okay.
and just watch the horizon.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night. I mean, it's the waves are gentle, and you know, the sunset is fantastic. You feel pretty happy with the way things are going so far with your crew. You've never been in charge of your own ship before, so you've got a little bit of just a slight twinge maybe that for a moment of like kind of the imposter syndrome, like how the fuck am I the captain? But then you're like, nah, I got this. But yeah, this is the first time that you've ever been in command, so it's kind of an interesting position for you. But over the course of the last couple weeks, you've sort of come to realize that you've got a bit of a charismatic approach to things, and people seem to respond to your leadership. Meanwhile, Byron burns the midnight oil investigating this damn journal and stays up pretty much all
Way too
night.
late.
Yeah, you're up for the next 8 hours. So why don't you go ahead and roll an investigation check with advantage. And then once you do retire to your quarters, Rhunar, I need you to roll a d20.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we might have forgot about that for the couple nights.
Oh, 22. Fantastic. You're starting to get the hang of this, these journal entries, and you're sort of deciphering the code a little bit more. There is definitely a sequence. There's a pattern that you're sort of, now that you've unlocked a certain number of journal entries, that you're getting better and better with it, and it's getting a little bit easier for you to do
Nice.
this. All right. Interesting. All right, let me share this with you.
I don't like the way that sounded.
You didn't like that, the way that sounded? I can't
Nah.
imagine.
I love it because I hate myself.
All right, you've unlocked journal entry number 21. Rhunar, what did
Oh,
you
no.
roll?
No.
7.
Okay, so you're fine. You're able to
Yeah.
get a good night's sleep. All right. I'll give you guys
Entry 21.
Yep.
Theo was right.
Remember when I said we need to infiltrate?
Uh-huh.
Is that the only page? Is that the only page?
It's only one page,
Yep.
Oh,
or it would have page 1 next to it.
that's like recent events.
I know, that's pretty close to recent.
That was like right
mean-
before we came to town.
Yeah, that was like right before he was murdered, essentially.
Yeah.
Recovered artifacts and lost maps.
Which are two, we have the recovered artifact, and we have a piece of a recovered map. Like this guy's got to die.
He knows something, that's for sure.
He may not need to die. We may just need to ask him some pointed questions and figure
Nope.
out who he works for.
I think it's easier to just. Well, yeah, we'll interrogate him.
Look, I cannot speak to the dead, and unless you know someone who can speak to the dead, killing everyone is not the answer.
I'm not saying we kill him. I'm saying we interrogate
So,
him.
by the way, this conversation is happening at like 4 in the morning. Byron comes running into your quarters and is like, guys, check this out.
It's Captain Toad. Guys, look at this. Look at this. And look at this.
What is it?
I'll read it to you if you want.
Alright. I'll listen.
All right. Rumors of the Sahuagin invasion have surfaced in town. Kaolin Navy ships sit docked in the harbor. Last night, the captain and first mate from the Myrmidon came calling late in the night. The two were oddly dressed in casual clothing. We spoke at length of Kaolin politics, and I even broke out some of the good wine. Discussion turned to pirates late in the evening, and Captain Tote inquired about any news I may have heard about recovered artifacts and lost maps. At this point, I'm going to look at you and see if you're like a little more awake. And if you look more awake, I'm going to go, and I felt as though I was being interrogated. Strange indeed. I bid them farewell, and that was that.
Is that the last entry in the book?
Who's the first mate? on
No, it's not the last one, but it's towards the very end. There seems to be one more after that.
There's one more, but I haven't yet deciphered that one.
The first mate on the Myrmidon is the guy that came and talked to us earlier.
Myler Orvid?
Yeah.
Myler Orvid is the first mate. And they took Crab, who we thought was suspicious in the Aubric Dralian murder,
And they offed
along,
him.
and they probably offed him. Yep.
Maybe they knew something. Maybe Kreb knew something.
Maybe the Sahuagin aren't the threat. Maybe it's the Navy.
Well, hold on. The Sahuagin are clearly a threat. The Navy might also be a threat. We can have many threats here. The world is an unfriendly place.
Well, let's hope the Navy shows up once we infiltrate the Sahuagin lair.
What if we bust into the lair, but instead of killing anyone, we try to befriend them?
I don't think that's going to fucking work.
We tell them about
You
the
know.
Navy invasion, and then we ambush the Navy with the
Which
Swashbuckler.
part of evil
Sure, no
murder
problem.
fish
Go
people that
first.
want to gobble our eyeballs did you miss?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Well, and Rhunar, you worked for the Navy. So
Well, I was a Marine.
yeah, you were a Marine in the Navy.
But you left. Why? What did you know?
I was sick of taking orders from puffed up royal officers.
Who had ulterior motives?
Yeah, it seemed like they would often get rich while the rest of us were just fighting and dying.
Settled then.
I mean, that was my impression anyway. A little jaded,
This
perhaps.
is why I
but,
did join.
I mean, that was just one officer I knew. I can't indict the whole Navy, but, you know, it happens. I mean, this is definitely a clue. Especially the casual dress. I mean, they're just, you know, roaming around town undercover. Seems suspicious.
Oh yeah, that whole thing smells.
Well, That's all I have for you guys. You guys can go back to sleep now. I'm gonna take a short nap, I think.
Yeah.
Wait, have you been up literally all night?
I mean, I slept a little bit, but no, yeah, I was up all night.
Get some rest. Sleep late. You don't need to be up right away.
Right. I mean, I can sleep on the rowboat too if need be. I don't want to row anyways.
All right,
He goes-
so
He
go
was
ahead.
gonna wait till Byron leaves and just look at Rhunar and goes, "Sometimes land lubbers are such bitches," and then roll back over and go back to bed.
And with that, you fall back asleep, dreams of pirate maps and strange treasures and creatures from the depths and battles to be had. Whether or not those are good dreams or nightmares, that's up to you. But you arise the next morning to the sound of the sea, and already the crew, Fritz has got the crew preparing to depart, and as you step onto the deck, you see that the ship is about to set sail for the remainder of its destination. And I guess I need Rhunar to check over the maps and roll a navigations check, and then Theo will need a piloting check from you, sir.
I'll let the captain go first.
+1, 15.
Yeah, yep, that's a successful check for sure. So, Theo, you get a +2 to this roll.
Brings it to 14. Good.
Nice. Yeah, no problem. This is, again, a fairly easy course to follow, especially since you have the coastline right there. And as you set sail and move forward with the day, it's beautiful weather again, very similar to the day before. Strong wind at your back, pushing you closer and closer to your destination. And about halfway through the day, right around the time that Alphonse is serving up lunch to the crew, you see up ahead the familiar shape of the Myrmidon on just over the horizon. It seems to be anchored and in position.
We should, Captain. we should
Ramming
stop here.
speed.
Nah, let's just keep playing dumb like we don't know anything.
Yes, good call.
You're able to get into what seems to be the location that Milo Orvid had suggested, close to the Myrmidon, and Fritz and the team drop anchor and begin to prepare the rowboat for you. The
Captain, if I
small
can
skiff.
make a recommendation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Once we're out of here, we should leave Fritz in command and have him pull the boat out of eyesight of the Myrmidon, just in case.
Whoa, you're trusting Fritz with the ship?
That's a long ways.
Well, no, it's going to be literally an hour back the other direction, just out of eyesight.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like an hour away from, if we have to make a retreat.
Okay,
We-
if they
we
search
won't
the
have a
vessel
boat.
while we are gone, I said it.
Let's just not leave anything on the ship
Well,
except
why don't you
booby
come out and
traps.
say it? All right.
I did. I literally just said it. Was that too subtle?
No, now I understand what you mean, though. Well, okay, let's... The box. What do we do with the box?
I'll bring
Keep
it
in
with
the
us.
bag.
Bring it with us. We'll bring the potions.
Yep.
So what are you worried about keeping on the boat?
I just
Irin
don't
says,
like-
yeah, we shouldn't leave anything of value on the boat. I agree.
All right, let's push all the silk into the ocean.
Whoa,
No,
whoa,
they're
whoa,
not.
that's
gonna
not
want
what I
that.
meant.
I think
That's
we'll
not
be
what I
fine
meant.
then. I just wanted to lodge the fact that I'm nervous because I don't trust them.
You're right. Should
Oh,
we
I know
make
what
it
you're
look
saying.
as if the ship is abandoned and have tons of
They're
booby
going
traps
to
set?
know
No,
that there's
I would
people
just-
on there.
I'm just gonna let Fritz know to keep an eye out and that we want a full reporting when we get back.
And tell him anything they offer him, we'll pay him quadruple.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, Fritz.
Yeah, Captain.
Say,
He's like there right away. Like you're almost just kind of thinking about talking to him, and he's there. Yeah.
all right, well, we're going to be leaving the boat for a little while. You're going to be keeping an eye on things, all right?
Aye, aye.
Just keep an eye out for the Navy, all right? I want to know if they try to come aboard.
We'll make sure that they don't, or if they do, that we keep an eye on them. Why do you think they would?
Just being cautious.
We are not what
Yeah,
you call
yeah.
trusting people.
No, yeah, I get it. Yeah, I mean, it's the Navy. I don't fucking trust them either. They've been busting our balls ever since we got involved with Sigurd and in that whole smuggling thing. But yeah, no, we'll keep an eye out. And I don't know if we can stop them from coming aboard if they really want to, but we won't make it easy for them. How about that?
Yeah.
And
Just make sure you stay on top of watches. This coast might be weird.
Yeah, I mean, how long do you think you're going to be gone then, Cap?
3 days, 2 days.
I think it's going to be like 2 days max, right?
Well, I mean, if we're planning on going to the west side of the fortress before we move in, that's going to be a ford. That's going to be at least one night in the swamps.
Yeah, so you've
Well,
got a
we
half.
attack the dawn tomorrow.
Correct. Yep. So you've got a half a day journey to get into position, and then in the morning you operate your infiltration.
In theory, we should be back tomorrow evening.
And then it would take another half day to get back, though, right? So it could
Yeah.
be 2 days.
Makes sense to me, Captain.
All right.
So you're gonna go in from the west, or you're gonna take the shorter route through the east.
What do you guys think? East and cross a river, or west and go through the
I mean,
swamps?
if I'm being honest, going around to the west is probably the better idea, because if they were expecting an attack from Saltmarsh or elsewhere, they'll be expecting it from the east. But until we see the fortress, we don't really know where anything is.
You can, I mean, from where you are right now, you can see the coastline, and you can kind of see the stronghold a little bit. Like it juts out of the ocean like a pillar, but it's in the distance for sure. You can't pick out any details, but you can kind of see it in the distance.
Let's get closer and then make that decision.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna head in and then make a decision on which way to go once you get a better view.
Yep.
Okay, that sounds good. Let's do this. Let's take a quick 8-minute break. We'll come back at 8:40, and we'll continue with the travel.
All right.
Oh yeah.
So you, the four of you, are now paddling in a small craft. It's got one small mast for a sail, which you're probably utilizing to give you some additional speed, and you have set off from the Good Buddy and are heading towards the Sahuagin Fortress. Who is going to be at the helm of this small craft? Whoever is should make a water vehicles piloting check for me.
Theo can do it, or Rhunar can do it. Rhunar, do you want to?
Sure, I'll take a shot.
Okay.
Water vehicles with what?
I would say with wisdom.
Okay.
Nice. All right. So yeah, easy enough. You're able to pilot the small boat towards the Sahuagin Fortress, and as you get closer to it, it starts to take shape before you. You see a rock outcropping that thrusts up from the azure sea to form what appears to be an island. Not that far off of the shoreline. From what you can gather at this distance, what appears above the surface of the water is approximately 500 feet in diameter. It's a roughly circular pillar that juts out to a point above the water's surface. You also know from your conversations with the Navy and with the town council that there is a substantial underwater portion of this thing. So it's literally just the tip of the iceberg that you see.
Shit, guys, should we? We don't have anything that lets us breathe underwater. We should probably go back and see if the Navy has anything that'll allow us to really investigate this place.
We're not going to the underwater portion. We're just doing the above water. There's some other underwater people doing the underwater portion.
Yeah, they have troops that are assaulting the underwater portion.
Oh, okay.
We have to get that north gate open. Can I tell from here if going to the that far side of the fortress, is that like even an option at this point? I guess.
Yeah, I mean, both of them are options, certainly. You do get the sense that you should try to give this island a wide berth and not get too close to it for, fear of basically alerting the Sahuagin defenders that there might be something going on. So you kind of have to make a decision at this point whether you want to go and approach it from the west or from the east. Just to clarify, in case there's some confusion, there is an entrance on the north side of this fortress that is above water, and that's the entrance that you will be going through.
All right, what do you guys think? Approach from land or try to cross that river?
I think
we need to get around to the side they're not expecting us to come from.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, let's go around to that far side then.
Okay, so you paddle. It's a little bit farther, takes a little bit longer, but it's not a problem. You operate the craft and get to the west side. As you're moving in that direction, you can gaze upon this strange structure, and you can see that it's pretty much just bare stone that juts out of the ocean. There doesn't appear to be any vegetation. There's no trees or grass. It's literally like almost like a volcanic pillar that juts up out of the water. It seems to be at the mouth of a small river that empties into this bay, the Bay of Javan, and beyond it you can see a vast marshland, thick with large trees, and probably at least Rhunar would have some familiarity with the Hool Marshes because of the Battle of Bale Keep, and which is on the edge of the Hool Marsh. So you'd have a little bit of a knowledge of what types of things are in the Hool Marsh, but essentially it's this land that has all kinds of seeps and mires and marshes and pools, all kinds of natural hazards, including other unnatural hazards such as lizard men and bandits and monsters and all sorts of things. So it's really sort of it's kind of a no man's land that tends to harbor, especially if folks are trying to hide, especially like bandits and criminals and pirates. Oftentimes, if they need to, they'll hide in the Hool Marshes, but sometimes they don't return. And you've heard lots of like little local legends in your days with the military. So you are able to make landfall, and as you approach the shoreline, you can see that it's a very undefined shoreline. As you can imagine, it's this marshland that sort of has a gradation into the Azure Sea. And there are all kinds of aquatic plants emerging from the water around what appears to be land, which is as you bring the small craft in and you drop the sail and you row it closer in, you're able to find a spot where you can kind of jump out onto some trees, lash the boat, pull it up a little bit to get it, to make sure it doesn't float away on you. Tie it off, but the ground underneath your feet is wet. Instantly your feet are wet. There are all kinds of bugs flying around quite intrusively, mosquitoes and other similar creatures trying to feast on your blood. It's not a pleasant place by any means. It is definitely a swampland.
Should we hide the boat? Should we cover it with some fronds or something? I'm gonna cut down some fronds and cover the boat up a little bit.
Okay.
Camouflage it a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit.
that's a good call.
That's easy enough. You're able to, cut down a bunch of branches and ferns and fronds and really obscure the boat from being found. Not
Obscure
a
the
problem.
ship out of that ship.
The ship out of that boat.
And then I'm just gonna like make note of like the, trees, any big trees or big landmarks around me, so I know how to get back.
Okay. Roll a survival check for me.
Right.
Not like that.
You're like, yeah, no problem. I'll be able to find this. This is not going to be a problem. You feel pretty confident that you'll be able to find your way back. All right, so you guys, you secure the boat, you hide it, and you set off through the marshland. Again, you're sinking in up to your ankles, in some places deeper, and it's tough going until you get a little bit farther inland. But once you get a little bit farther away from the coastline, you get on a little bit more stable ground. It's still muddy and mucky, and you can almost like, it would be considered difficult terrain, so your movement is at half speed. As you sort of sink into the muck, and then pulling your feet out to take a step is kind of a struggle a little bit. If you've ever walked around in a marsh, it almost like wants to hold onto your foot as you try to take a step. There are little areas that have that are raised above the damp seeps, and so there are some dry spots, and you can attempt, if you want, to try to follow those in your direction if you want to.
I would recommend we do that.
So roll a survival check, Theo, as you're kind of taking the lead. 11. Okay, yeah. It's not hard. You take a couple of missteps where you sink into your knee. It's tough being the guy that's bushwhacking in the lead, but you're able to do your best in terms of following the sort of higher areas and staying out of the damp spots. At this point, how are you moving through this swampland?
I just want to know, like, we're not planning on making it to the fortress today, are we?
Enough to make camp and be ready to go in the morning.
Yep, ready to go in the morning. So I'm thinking we should be kind of stealthy today.
Yeah.
But if you guys want, I could be like a forward scout, and I'll go ahead of you guys. Let's say 100-ish yards, and I'll be the stealthy one, and you guys can just move, and you guys just like chill here for a second. I'll move forward ahead, 100-ish yards, and just do some forward reconnaissance.
What time is it?
It's just after midday. It's probably like,
Okay.
Roughly 2 o'clock, 1 or 2 o'clock.
I'm all right with that if you want to do that.
I just think it's easier for one person to hide than it is for, 4 of us to hide.
Right. You'll be so far ahead though, we won't be able to see you in case something happens.
If something happens, I'll just run away. I'll run away as quickly as I can. And I'll make noise so you guys know that I'm running away.
Okay. So let's get to about, I don't know, within a few hours.
Well, when
How
you
far away are we?
hit land, you're within a few hours. So it literally it would probably take you like 3 hours. You estimate to get to the what you know to be a causeway that connects the stronghold to the shoreline.
How about we get to the fortress and then backtrack a little bit from there?
Okay. How about, do you want me to do forward scouting before we get there?
Sure.
Okay, so yeah, I'll stealth ahead of everyone else.
Okay. Go ahead and
just
roll
to
a stealth
be the
check
eyes.
for me.
So I'll pull my hood up before I go do
Okay.
this. And I'll add to that. I'll actually be extra careful.
Yeah, go ahead and roll a stealth check with advantage for your hood. Nice. Wow. 27. That'll do. Yeah, you guys can, within, I don't know, 30 seconds of
He's gliding
Byron
over the
heading
swamp.
forward, he just sort of disappears from view, and you can't hear anything other than the sound of insects flying around and trying to sting you. They're kind of flying into your ear a little bit, Theo, and you're kind of swatting at them. Rhunar, one lands on your forehead, and you don't know until it's too late. You can feel it biting your forehead.
Son of a...
I love marshes, really.
Irin's not saying much of anything. You can tell he's not super happy. He's just swatting bugs around his head. Byron, you head off as sort of the forward scout. What are you looking for? What are you doing? I know you're stealthing pretty successfully, but is there anything in particular you're looking for or trying to identify?
So the first thing I'm going to be looking for as I'm moving along is first warning signals. Maybe Sahuagin, whatever their names are, forward scouts that they might have hiding within the marshes. Um, you know, tripwires that may be connected to bells, whatever, And then in addition to that, I'm also going to be looking for footprints, areas where they've been traveling, like places that look like they've been well traveled, pathways that lead us to the fortress.
Okay. Roll a
So kind
perception
of a
check
double.
for me. You're easily stealthing your way through this landscape, although it is difficult terrain. So you're moving even a little bit slower than you normally would be, just based on the sort of the sogginess and the bogginess of this area. There are these kind of hummock areas where you're able to get up on a little bit higher perspective and get a little bit of a view ahead. But when you're down in these swampy, wet basin areas, it's really hard to see more than 10, 20 feet ahead of you. But at the end of like the first hour or so that you're moving ahead and scouting ahead, you hear
Oh shit! I'm gonna stop where I'm at and go as low and as quiet as I possibly can,
okay.
and I'm just gonna try and identify where that location
Are
is coming from.
you continuing to move?
No, I'm stopping.
Okay. You hear some sounds coming from up ahead of you. It's hard to tell with that perception roll how far ahead they are, but it doesn't. You get the sense that it's not very far away. Like you may have picked up on the noises a little bit later than you'd hoped.
Okay. I'm just gonna wait in silence,
Okay.
listening.
All right. So you're kind of hunkered down, fairly well hidden, extremely well hidden actually. Let's be honest. Rhunar and Byron. Meanwhile, the three of you and Irin are following, trying to your best of your ability to follow the footprints that he's not leaving because he's so stealthy. But you know the general direction. And what are the three of you doing while you're moving through? How are you moving through the marsh? Are you looking for things? Are you having conversations? What are you doing?
Theo's generally going to be quiet. He's keeping an eye out on the swamp around him, expecting something to jump out and kill him. Maybe not Sahuagin, maybe other things. There's so much here that could kill you.
Yeah, Rhunar's just trying to be as quiet as possible.
Okay.
Not talking a lot.
Both of you guys roll a stealth check for me. And then Theo, you're kind of keeping a lookout as you go, anticipating the potential threats. Why don't you roll a perception check as well? And Rhunar, if you are doing the same, you can roll a perception.
Yeah.
Wowzer. Yeah.
Perception.
Nice. Theo, do you have disadvantage on stealth?
I do. I'm wearing armor that gives me disadvantage on stealth.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
That's why I had been looking for armor. I was like, ah, crap.
Yeah, so the two of you are doing your best to be quiet as you're moving through, and you do a decent job. There's a couple of times, Theo, where you stumble and have to grab onto a branch of a tree, or make a splashing sound as your foot seeps into a sinkhole. But you're able to make some progress, and eventually you get to a high point where you stop momentarily and just kind of catch your breath. You can't see very far ahead. And then, Theo, all of a sudden you hear some splashing sounds to the north. Not very far away, but somewhat, I would say, erratic.
Down, everybody down.
And the three of you drop and kind of hunker down, and you listen. We're going to open up a map.
Oh no, maps.
This can mean only one thing.
We're gonna have a nice barbecue.
Yeah.
All right, so we got Theo.
Nothing at all is gonna happen.
Yeah, fish people sound very cookable.
Byron,
Tastes like chicken.
Fishy pork? Nah, I'm not there, man.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Says the guy who tried to cook a badger.
Okay,
Don't knock it till you try it.
so here is. Yeah, you actually didn't even get a chance to try it, did you?
No, I was trying it though. I had not yet knocked it.
Okay, so you guys are in the upper left-hand corner of this map. You happen to look down, Rhunar, and there's an old fire pit on this raised area. It doesn't appear to have been used recently, but you see basically a ring of rocks and some old burnt cinders. Theo, you're sort of ducked in these ferns, hiding out, and Irin is tucked in behind this tree. Byron, you're up ahead, behind this large snag, and Byron, you heard something roughly in this area.
Okay.
The voices. Theo, you heard something sort of off the map to the north, somewhere up in this general area.
Theo is going to materialize his sword and just kind of hunker down and wait.
Okay.
Byron, I think. So this is a snag, you called it?
Yeah, it's like a dead tree. Pretty
Does it
large
look
dead tree.
pretty climbable?
Yeah, it does actually.
You know what? I'm gonna stealthily climb it.
Go ahead and roll an acrobatics check for me to climb up that thing. Oof.
Oof.
Roll a stealth check as well.
I gave it advantage, but I don't know if I'm supposed to.
Yeah, I would say probably not, but you still rolled a 22.
Ever seen a man silently fall out of a tree?
Yeah, you get about halfway up the tree, and a branch that you reach up and put your weight on snaps. So there's a ch, and you fall to the ground and then basically disappear into the underbrush. I would like everybody to roll initiative.
Oof.
I would like to win, but we can't always get what we want.
Oh.
Better than mine, buddy.
Nope, I gotta find mine here. Hold on.
You've already got initiative of 9 somehow, Rhunar. That was weird.
I know, that's old, I think. Oh, I forgot. Did I select my guy?
Yep. Yeah, you rolled a 19.
Hold on.
Okay. Nice. All right. right, so let's do this. Let me reorder these real quick. Everybody's kind of hunkered down at this point in like heightened sense of alertness. And as the three of you, Irin, Rhunar, and Theo, are hidden behind this tree, you see this creature kind of smashing through the undergrowth and the vines. As it makes its way into view, you see this strange looking troll-like creature, large size, but on close inspection you can see that some of its flesh is like flaking off and like drooping and seeping off of it as though it's been waterlogged and soaked in the marsh for decades. And you can smell it as it approaches. It smells like death. Rhunar, you have initiative right now.
It smells like it's dead.
It smells nasty.
All right, I'm gonna ready my bow, and when it gets close enough, if it notices anyone, I'm gonna just use my attack at that point.
Okay.
Like, can I see Byron from where I am?
No, definitely not. He's just way too stealthy.
Do I know his general location though?
No, you don't, because he was
Okay.
so far ahead of you. So you're just gonna hold an action.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold an action, and if he comes closer and is able to see us through there, like if he makes any kind of reaction towards us, I'm gonna shoot at that point.
Okay, sounds good. Byron, as you are ducked down and hidden, you see the source of the voices come around this tree. And these are strange frog-like creatures. They have the visage of bipedal frogs, and they are holding spears, and they're having a conversation right now.
Yeah.
And you don't get the sense that they've seen you yet.
All right.
As you guys are sort of hunkered down back here, this large figure is kind of walking towards you. I want you guys to roll a stealth check to stay hidden.
That's negative.
Rhunar 7, Theo, natural 1. Basically, this guy, as he kind of rounds this tree, he walks almost right up to you, Theo, and just goes, "Whoop," and looks at you, kind of looking down at you as you're tucked in these ferns, and then just goes, "Bruh," and he's going to claw at you.
You do that. I'm just a growing little human plant.
Can I take my attack before he does that?
Yes, he's close enough now where you can use your reaction.
All right.
You can see that he notices Theo and is about to swipe at him with his claws.
Stop that.
A 10.
Does 10 hit?
As you look at this thing, you get a little startled by it because of it just looks really disgusting. Again, you can see like through its skin is sloughing off, and you fire wide.
Ugh.
Meanwhile, the
Do I
troll-like
get to take my
creature.
extra attack for that or not?
You just get the one attack if
Okay.
you use it as a reaction.
Okay.
He is going to make 2 attacks at you, Theo. First with his claws. 13. Guessing that
Does not hit.
misses. And then he also... Oh, he's going to take another claw attack. Another 13, which misses. And then his third attack, because he gets 3, is a bite.
Ugh.
Good.
That one is a 23.
Nope.
Misses. Nice.
No, that definitely hits.
Oh, okay. I thought you were serious. The damage is 8 piercing as he bites into your shoulder. And 14 necrotic damage as you feel this strange energy channeled from this troll into you. And it feels like you've been violated.
I have been violated. I was bitten by a weird troll monster.
Just minding your own business.
And as that happens, a bunch of its flesh like falls onto you because it's just sloughing off this. It's like this weird mucus and fleshy epidermis. You also take.
Oh God! What?
I know that this thing is nasty. Take an additional 7 necrotic damage.
Oh, kill it with fire.
That's one attack, ate over half of my hit points.
That's the troll's attack. Byron, you see these frog-like creatures in front of you.
All right.
And you...
Don't see me.
Let's see, I'm guessing based on the proximity here, you also have heard what's going on behind you.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. Because I wasn't going to go help because I didn't think I saw that. But if I do hear it or think something's going on,
That is unmistakable.
Yeah.
I lost half my hit points. Theo yells.
I'm gonna sneak that way.
So you have, because it's
Half
difficult
my movement,
terrain,
right?
yep, half movement.
I'm gonna move this far and remain stealthy.
Okay.
Don't necessarily know what's going on, but I'm gonna make a perception check.
Yeah, roll a stealth check too. Yeah, no, you're fine. The frog creatures don't notice you, and neither does the troll. And what are you trying to perceive exactly?
What I'm hearing back this way.
Oh, it's blatantly obvious. There is a creature of large size that looks to be attacking your friend Theo and doing a pretty good job of it. Theo just yelled out. There's no mistaking.
I believe that's all I'm going to do, just because I don't want to use dash or anything like that. But and I did use my stealth and perception actions, so.
Okay.
What was that natural 20, Dave?
That's
Don't bother
Irin. I just rolled a natural 20 for Irin's initiative. Which is pretty sweet. So that's the end of your turn, Byron?
Yep, that's all I can do.
All right, Theo.
Ow.
Yeah.
He's already got the sword in hand, so he's gonna point it at this awful thing. I don't like it. Use his bonus action to use Wrath of the Blade Bearer because I am not fucking around with it. And then he's going to attack twice with the sword.
Okay, so that gives you bonus damage.
And crit on 19 and 20, and if it dies, I get hit points back.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
see what happens.
awesome.
First attack.
Yeah, that hits.
Nice.
So that does an additional 3 damage, so that's 13 damage total.
Okay.
Nice.
1 point short of that enhanced critical, so only 11 points of damage.
Nice. So 2 quick blasts from your blade as you slice through this thing, and it's almost like a hot blade through butter. Your packed weapon just slices through this thing, and it cries out as you heave it, and blood and pus shoots forth into the ground, and it kind of sizzles as it hits the ferns in front of you, as if it's almost burning them with necrotic energy.
Oh, I'm quite aware, and that's all I've got.
What was the last one? 13 damage?
First one was 13, second one was 11.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, nice job. Anything else?
Not at this point.
Okay. Let's see, Irin. God, I wish I knew Irin's character a little bit better.
He does punches.
Yeah.
He would go punch it in the dick.
All right. He is going to move up. He's going to jump up to a branch on this tree and like do one of those swings around the branch, and then come flying down with a fist strike. And he's going to, now that his fists are key empowered strikes, what does that mean exactly? Just that they're magical, okay.
His magic weapon.
So he's going to attack with his fists.
Whoa. Nice.
Yeah, he hits for 8 damage.
Yeah, fists.
He is going to use his extra attack to punch it in the dick.
I'm glad you saved that for the last attack. I was going to say something, but
Let's see, does that hit? That does not hit. He misses the dick.
Oh.
It's long rotted away. There's nothing there to hit.
However, he's going to use Flurry of Blows because he just saw his friend. 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus. So he gets 2 unarmed strikes as his bonus action. He's really pissed off that Theo has been hit so hard, so he's going to do another punch to the dick.
Yeah.
Oh, natural 20
There we
for
go.
9 points. So that's
Is that 18? Or just 19? Or sorry, 17.
what?
How much is that for a natural?
He did 9 points of damage, and then his last punch. Oh no, he misses with his last one.
Ooh, he misses on a 15. Oh.
Yep. So that is his bonus action and his action and his movement. So that brings us to Rhunar.
All right, I'm gonna move up and attack that bastard with my swords.
Do it.
Ah.
Uh,
16?
That hits just barely for 7.
Yep.
Okay.
Second hand.
Ooh, yeah. Nice.
Extra
Wow.
attack. Ooh, that misses.
Yep. So 2 heaving blows from the scimitars, and this rot troll just cries out super loud, almost like this piercing scream, which causes these frog-like creatures to take some action. So they're going to move 5, 10, 30. They don't see Byron yet.
No one ever has.
But they all get into position. They're just kind of watching this happen. And then it comes to the rot troll. Love this thing. All right.
rot troll.
Yep.
Rot
That's
troll.
just terrifying.
So it's going to take a first claw attack at Irin.
No, not the dwarf.
Oof. 24 to hit. I'm pretty
yeah, it's
sure
gonna
that
hit Irin.
hits. Yeah, his armor class is 17. That's 18 points of damage. Okay. Its second claw attack is at Rhunar. It's giving you all a little bit of love. 23 to hit
Oh, Jesus.
for 11
Yeah.
slashing and 8 necrotic. and then it's gonna, Theo, it's gonna try to, it likes the taste of you, so it's gonna try to bite you again.
Oh, good.
10 to hit, which I think
Okay,
misses.
10 in fact does not hit. Thankfully.
We have to kill this thing quick.
And then at the end of its turn, each of you take 11 necrotic damage
Oh my god.
as more of its body juices kind of spill out onto you, and the vegetation around it just kind of sizzles and it burns your skin. Damn, that's
Yeah, there goes half my hit points.
nasty. Byron, you've got these frog-like creatures have sort of come up behind you, and you know they're there.
Okay. Based on my earlier perception, does it look like the troll is being handled?
No!
Why don't you roll another perception, since we're a little bit farther along than we were.
Ooh.
It's hard to say because you can't really see your friends very well because they're sort of obscured by this thing, and you can tell that they're doing damage to it because it's screaming out.
Okay. Shit. I'm hoping this doesn't just immediately reveal me. No, I gotta stay stealthy. You know what? Shit, what do I do?
Please don't let us die.
I'm gonna attempt to stay stealthy for just enough to get out of this frog's range.
All right,
And then
roll a stealth check, just a straight roll, since he's right next to you.
Nice.
Yeah, he. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not looking at you. He is confused by what's going on, and he does not see you.
So as soon as I get from here, so I'm like 5 feet away from him now, or whatever, or 7.5 feet, or I don't know. I'm just gonna stand up, and obviously he's gonna see me. I'm just gonna stand up in the bushes with my back to him too. So it's like, holy shit. So maybe that's a kind of an intimidation factor. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. I'm gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20. If I can I move that far?
You can move half your distance, so you could really only move 15 total. So 5, 10, you could get here.
Even if I only stealthed for like the first 5 feet?
It's difficult
Can you
terrain.
still attack from here?
So I would only be able to move to like here.
Well, you were in this square here, so you could move 5, 10, 15 right
5.
here.
Ooh. Well, I'm gonna stay stealthy the whole time then.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Then I'll move to here. And yeah, well, I guess I do have a. Would I assume that my crossbow is already loaded?
Yeah.
Or could I?
I think your crossbow
Okay.
would probably be loaded.
All right, so I'm gonna pull my crossbow off my back,
Okay.
and staying really, really low, I'm gonna attempt to take a pot shot at it.
All right, go ahead and roll to attack with your crossbow.
Or actually, wait.
What are you gonna do, Byron?
Could I hit him with a whip if I have 10 range whip? If I have 10 feet of
You're
range?
not quite 10 feet.
Ah, darn. Okay, yeah. It's gonna be. Actually, it's gonna be a short bow because I already have that set up.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah. So let's see. You do a short bow attack, and you definitely get your sneak attack. What's the fighting style? Dueling? Does that apply to a bow attack?
It should not apply. It should not apply.
Okay, so it should be
And I do get my stealth. I do get
5,
sneak attack
6,
damage for that.
7. Yep. You definitely get sneak attack. So you've got 7
so yeah, it'd be
damage.
6 on 6.
I'm sorry, say it again.
It'd be the initial six piercing damage, and then 6 sneak damage.
Got it. So 12 total.
Yep.
Okay. Nice.
And I'll aim for its throat. Just because that seems to be Byron's way.
Yeah, it's kind of your signature. The three of you are engaged with this troll, and all of a sudden you see this arrow just come halfway out of its neck towards you. Like the arrowhead is pointing towards you, and it's just like... All right, anything else, Byron?
I'll drop my bow and take out my rapier.
Okay. All right, that brings us to Theo with Irin on deck.
Theo is going to disengage action. You said it was a difficult terrain.
Yes.
5, 10, 15. He's going to move back because, oh god, oh god, oh god.
Mm-hmm.
And as his bonus action, he's going to point the sword at this asshole again. And on top of the curse he already has, he's going to cast Hex on it as well.
Nice. Okay.
Let me put that spell out there.
Let's see. Hex. Let's go like this. And you are going to hex it for what ability score, or what ability?
It's strength.
All right. Perfect. That's your turn, Theo. Okay. Irin is going to take some attacks with Mahama. Let's see, there's no flank, so... Oh yeah, that hits.
Nice.
He smashes the thing across the face. And he's going to do it again. Why not? Ooh, the second one misses. I think he's going to actually use a key point for Stunning Strike for that first attack. I kind of forgot about that, but let's do that. Target must succeed on a con save versus what's the DC? Anybody know for a monk?
8 efficiency bonus plus whatever his wisdom score is. So 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever his...
11, 12,
I want to say it's probably
15.
a 14 or 13.
It's a
15.
15, so con save. I rolled a 19. It saves. Okay, that's Irin's turn. Brings us to Rhunar.
Let's see what I want to do here. Oh man. All right, I'll attack this guy.
Seems logical.
Get this over with. Bastard. Nice.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Nice.
Big shot.
Nice.
Whoa, nice. 12
Do it.
total. Yeah, this thing is looking very bloodied. It's kind of stumbling as you take 2 extremely lacerating shots across its chest. Again, just slicing through it almost with no resistance as pieces of its body fall out onto the vegetation below. Anything else from Rhunar?
Yep. Oh,
Oof, that one misses, however.
damn it.
Rough.
All right, the frog creatures. They are going to now seeing Byron 5.
Damn it.
This one is going to attack you, Byron, with a spear, 2-handed. 14. I bet that misses.
You betcha.
These two guys here throw spears at the troll. This guy and this guy. They're going to throw their spears. First one at the troll. Hits with a 21 for 6 piercing damage. And the other one also throws a spear. It misses and flies past into the underbrush with a 14 to hit. And then this guy here is going to... He is going to... This is going to be interesting. He starts to sing this strange, like, guttural call. You hear erupt from his mouth. This... And everybody, let's see. Yeah, everybody, all 4 of you guys and the troll need to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
God.
What did you do, Byron?
The troll.
Oh.
Saving throws. So the troll is successful. Theo, you're successful. Rhunar successful. Let's see how Irin does. What did I say? Constitution?
You said
Wisdom.
wisdom.
Wisdom? Thanks. Wisdom. Irin is successful. Byron.
I know.
You take
Oh no.
11 psychic damage as this sound of this reverberation disrupts your thinking and just causes this intense pain in your head. You have disadvantage on Constitution saving throws until the end of your next turn. All right, that was cool.
Words of one of a
what-
game a long time ago. Could be worse. Could be bullywugs.
Bullywugs are the best. All right, that brings us to the... Oh man, that brings us to the rot troll. Shit.
Yeah.
That's not good. He is going to try to bite Irin.
Well, it's okay.
Nope, he misses with a 16. He is going to try to claw Rhunar. Uh, 23.
God damn it.
12 slashing and 2 necrotic.
Been worse.
Jesus. My 12 slashing 2 minus, okay, 14.
14 total, yeah.
Oh my god.
And then he is going to move. So Rhunar, if you want, you can take an attack of opportunity.
I will do that.
Okay, go ahead and take 1 attack. This way.
Nice.
Yeah, that hits. You slice across him for 11 damage, and he stumbles away from you as he approaches Theo and tries to get him with an attack with a claw. $14. And he misses, and he kind of stumbles to the ground.
Oh, Dave, wait, I lost track of my hit points there, sorry. How much was that last attack
14.
against me?
Yep, 14. That brings us to Byron.
All right, I'm gonna move 5 feet, and I'm assuming take a attack of opportunity.
Oh shit, hold on a second. Before you do that, I forgot about this weird acid thing. Byron, or I mean Theo. You take
Oh, no.
6 necrotic.
Oh no!
5, barely.
Oh no!
All right, now Byron, you can go.
Okay, seeing how badly hurt Theo is, my eyes are gonna go red. I'm gonna step 5 feet. I'm gonna just jump up in the air with my rapier and attempt to replace its spine with my blade.
Nice. Just skewer it.
And actually, yeah, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah, you kind of like climb up on a small branch and like launch yourself up onto it. Kind of put your foot on its shoulder and you come down with the rapier right through its spine. And as you do, it just screeches this loud scream and it dies.
Oh, thank God.
I'm gonna use a bonus action to attempt to hide as it's falling. I'm gonna like use its body as cover.
All right, that might mean that you have to use the rest of your movement to get on the other side of it if you're trying to hide from, for example, these frog guys.
The bullywugs.
Yep, so you might have to kind of get over on this side somewhere.
Could I move that far? Because I did already move 5. If it's still
5,
difficult terrain.
10, 15. You could get like right here.
Okay.
Yep. Right
And
next
I'll
to
make
Theo.
a hide action.
Okay, is that a bonus action?
Yes,
Nice.
using cunning action.
Nice. All right, so roll a stealth check. Oh yeah, no problem. With advantage, yeah, you're almost undetectable. Okay, Theo.
First, a kind of, the type of energy that flared on Roger earlier, a kind of a blue-white energy, surges off of its dying corpse and over to Theo, who regained 11 hit points when you killed him. Thanks, buddy.
Nice.
Yeah, buddy.
Theo's going to take 5 steps back as his bonus action because my hex target died for the hex spell. I'm going to move the hex as a bonus action to this bullywug on the end.
Okay.
And then he's going to reverse the grip on his sword and point it crucifix at this bullywug. And 2 bolts of Eldritch Blast are going to shoot towards it because he is not playing with these people.
Okay. Let her rip. Yeah, the first one blasts right into this.
So it takes 5 more points. So that's a total of 9 damage from the first attack.
Okay. Oh yeah. That hits. Both of your Eldritch Blasts just rocket into this thing, and yeah, it's hurting. So it's 11 total for the second one.
Yep.
1d56.
The game freaked out for a second. Apparently, I rolled a d56. We're ignoring that.
Weird. Never heard of that.
41 damage.
Yeah. So just complain, and he just gives the rest of these guys a look like, we will make your day terrible.
So it's a total of 20 damage altogether,
Total
right?
20 damage.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Nice. You just hear him kind of call out. Irin is up. He kind of shakes his head and is like trying to figure out what's going on. And he does this kind of flying leap. And then he rolls. He does this forward roll. 5, 10, 15, and ends up right behind this guy. And he smashes at him with his hammer twice. First one.
Nice.
There's a natural 20 for 8 points.
Does
And
that
the
automatically double
second-
the damage?
And then the second one.
I think it means you re-roll the damage die.
Oh yeah, so he does a total of 14. He crushes this thing and knocks it down in, basically pounds it into the bog and kills it. That's his action. Yeah, that's his action. Rhunar.
I'm gonna shoot this one with my bow.
Okay. Yep, that hits, and your arrow flies right into its left eye, and it just kind of hesitates for a minute and then drops to the ground.
Nice. I'm gonna attack this one with my extra attack.
Okay.
Come on. 14?
No, 14 misses.
14. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna use my bonus action to do second wind.
Okay. You also have movement if you want to use it. Brings us to the bullywugs.
So that's 1d10 plus my fighter level. Ugh. All right, so 9.
Okay. So you regain 9 hit points?
Yep.
Got it. Anybody who's kind of watching the battlefield here sees a couple more of these creatures, these frog-like creatures emerge from behind this tree. And let's see, those guys, this guy threw a, probably should have made a note on who threw what, but this guy threw a spear and this guy threw a spear. All right, so he's gonna run up. He doesn't see Byron based on the stealth check. This guy comes up and he's going to throw a spear at you, Rhunar. Uh, 12, I'm assuming that misses.
20. Yeah, that misses, sorry.
Okay, those guys are all just moving up. Okay, that brings us to Byron.
All right, this guy that walked up right next to me. As soon as he gets close, I'm gonna be like hiding behind the body, waiting for one of them to get close. As he gets close, I'm gonna stand up, reach out with my left hand, and pull him into my rapier up through his throat.
All right, go ahead and roll.
And I'm gonna use my inspiration to
Inspiration.
get advantage on this. Yeah, you gave me inspiration for my
Oh,
fire
yeah. Right on. Wow. Yeah, so you just kind of like lurch up towards him with your rapier and just skewer him through the throat, as you like to do. And he falls dead on your sword.
Excellent. I will use a bonus action to duck back behind this corpse and rehide.
Okay, go ahead and roll another stealth check. And Theo, you're up. Nice.
I will shoot a couple of Eldritch Blasts at yonder frogman who has been hexed.
Yep. Fire away. Let's see. Yeah, that just hits. For a total of 12.
12.
Yeah, he gets blasted and he reels backwards and you can see he's like just almost ready to fall over.
Here comes another gift for him.
Do it.
Whoa,
Yeah.
yeah, he's done.
Hold on.
Beautiful.
Your second blast of of energy fires from your sword and hits him square in the chest, and he flies backwards 10 feet into the swamp and just disintegrates into a mist.
And Theo promptly, as his bonus action, moves the hex to the next frogman down. This guy.
Okay. You gotta love that hex.
No kidding.
It's a great
That thing
spell.
is beast.
Well, plus
You heal from that too?
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's not the one I heal from. That's
Oh, you're right.
as a Hexblade Warlock, I've got the Hexblade Hex and then the actual Hex spell.
The hex.
The Hex. So
Double hex.
there's a lot of Hex juggling over here, but it makes things go pa.
Is that the end of your turn, Theo?
Yes, it is.
All right. That brings us to Irin. Irin is going to race forward and kind of sneak in behind this guy here. And he's going to do a reverse dick punch.
Punches him right through the gooch.
Right
Yep.
in the taint.
The exit
Exactly.
wound is phenomenal.
Taint punch.
Oh,
Oh, he misses with an 8.
it was on a 2.
It's
It
up
was
his
on a
butt
12,
now and
Yep.
stuck.
And it rolled
He-
over.
He retracts his hand from his frog butt, and then he tries again.
Do they have cloacas?
Yeah, exactly. That
I
one
don't know what
does
that
hit,
means,
however.
but I like it.
And he punches him in the nads from behind. And then he is going to use, let's see, dodge action as a bonus action. He's going to use a key point to take patient defense. And he also gets to, if I remember correctly, what is that called? He has something, what is it? Hold, no. Dwarven resilience? Nope.
He gets to.
He has
if he
something
takes-
where he gets a hit die, right?
Yeah, it's if he takes it. It's Dwarven Resilience lets him if he takes dodge action
Yeah.
or he gets to spend a hit die.
Yeah, so he gets 8 hit points back.
Nice.
Nice.
Okay. Rhunar.
Alright, I'm going to attack this a-hole again with my bow.
Which one? Sorry. I was
The
looking
one
at
by
something.
Irin.
Got
The
it.
one in front of
Okay. Whoa, nice. Yeah, you just see his eyes get really big and he falls to the ground, dead. If I could click correctly. There we go.
Alright, I'm going to use my extra attack to attack this one.
Okay. Yep, that hits
Nice.
too. Wow, 13 damage?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah, he goes.
Magic bow.
He's toast. He's down.
Nice.
Yep. 2 quick shots in repetition, dropping 2 more of these frog creatures. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. That brings us to these 2 guys here. They are going to get the fuck out of here. 20, they're going to take the
Smart.
dash action. 5, 10, 15, 20. I think that's all they get to move. Yeah. All right. So they move away from you guys. That brings us to Byron.
I don't know if I see them or not, but I'm gonna take this moment now that I feel like I feel pretty secure. I'm gonna look back at Theo, kind of still using the giant rot thing as my like sandbags, basically. I'm gonna say, "Are these the Sahuagin?"
No, I don't think so. These are more frog people as opposed to terrifying fish things. I'm not actually out of character. Dave, what would we roll or check to see how much monsterology we know?
This would be a nature check. Yeah, these are definitely not the fish creatures that you've been described or maybe have some knowledge of that are the Sahuagin. These are definitely frog-like creatures. Rhunar would definitely know these creatures from his time in the proximity of the Hool Marshes. Theo, you just know that these are definitely not fish-like creatures.
Okay. At this point, then, I'm just going to stand up, survey the carnage, maybe glance over at the people escaping if I can even see them, and
Yeah, you
sheath
can
my
kind of
rapier.
see them sort of disappearing. Let's see. Hold on. Let's do this. Just because it's kind of cool. Roll a perception check. I rolled a natural 20 for stealth.
They're sneaky.
Yeah, they have what's called swamp camouflage, which is a feature of theirs. Yeah, they disappear from view pretty quickly.
Okay.
Bullywugs are fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
I still don't feel that threatened by them.
And at this point, we are out of initiative.
I'm gonna start searching their bodies.
Theo's
I'm gonna look at Theo and be like, Theo, do the thing with your eyes.
do what thing with my eyes?
You know what I'm talking about.
Look for magic?
Yeah, look for magic stuff.
For the record, Dave, with the 12, would Theo know about trolls and fire?
In what sense?
That you should burn that trolls fire keeps them from growing back, essentially.
Yeah, sure. I think that's legit. Sure.
So we have a bigger problem. The problem is that thing might grow the fuck back if we don't burn it. And he's in fact going to look over. Does it look like it's growing back?
Roll a medicine check. You look at it and sort of examine its body. You kind of poke it a little bit with a stick, and it's really this sort of like gelatinous, oozy flesh. It doesn't, you don't know a ton about trolls. You do know a little bit with that nature check, but you don't know a ton. But there's something different about this troll, and it doesn't appear to be regenerating.
Okay, so maybe this isn't the type that grows back. I don't know.
Do you have an extra jar, Theo?
No, I cannot say I have an extra jar on me.
Rhunar, meanwhile, you're searching these frog creatures, or that frog creature next to you, and you find a pouch that has a couple of fish heads in it, and you find a spear and some very some hide armor, and let's see what else.
I will take that hide armor.
That's
if you're not
about
planning
it.
on using it.
That's about it.
You're welcome to the armor. I'm not gonna use it.
Just for your knowledge, it's nasty. It's like, it's, there's mold on it, and it stinks, and it's dirty and gross, and bloody and
Does
hacked
it
to
look
bits.
really functional though?
You could probably scavenge off of these 6 bullywugs. You could probably scavenge enough to be moderately useful, but it's pretty nasty. So that's up to you. It almost has an offensive reek to it.
I mean, technically, it would not help me that much. It would help me a little bit, though. I think it would raise my AC by 1.
That's fun. But you'd be smelly.
Yeah, and I don't know if that would necessarily benefit my stealth. So I think I'm just gonna leave it. Actually, you're right.
Can I just like tell by looking at these other 2 bodies next to me, like that they're kind of like the same
Yeah, they're all approximately the same. There's really not much to salvage off of these things unless you want to, fish heads and, gross hide and spears that look like they were crafted by an unskilled artisan.
Right.
I'll look at the fish eggs, and then I'll look at you. Is that the Sahuagin?
Were you not listening at like any point when anyone
Fish!
described what's going on?
You said fish.
They are
These are-
horrifying, teeth-filled monster fish.
Oh, I'll open one of their mouths.
These are not Sahuagin. These are bullywugs.
Okay, okay.
Bullywugs.
I meant the fish heads. That's not Sahuagin heads?
Not these little things, no.
Okay, okay.
I don't know about you guys, but I
was kinda
I
hoping
sure
it
need a
was.
rest right about now.
I recommend we get the fuck away from the site where there was all the fighting, and now there's all the carnage that's going to bring the scavengers.
Yeah.
But then, yes.
I was further east of here. East? Is this east or I don't know
Yeah.
what direction this is.
Yep, that's east.
But there was a large tree. We could post a watch in it and get a good vantage point of the area, surrounding
We need
area.
to move like 15 or 20 minutes away from
Yeah,
this.
we should travel away.
Oh,
from-
serious distance?
There is a fire pit back here, so I don't know if people come here often, but
Do you come here often, Rhunar?
no, but it may be well traveled in this particular spot.
So let's get away from it.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, we'll move away then. I will again take the lead stealthily, just to be sure that we're not walking into any ambushes.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'll do a better job this time, guys.
But let's find a good place to hunker down.
So you guys are going to continue moving eastward?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody roll a perception check. And Byron, roll a stealth check.
I see like a nice tree there, and there's some birds in it, and that's about it.
Oh, my roll was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
We don't
All
see
three of them were nasty.
Yep.
Luckily, Byron, you seem to be fairly stealthed as you hear this.
This time I'll stop and immediately backtrack to the other guys.
You see another one of these bullywugs that appears to be riding on top of a giant toad, and it's jumping like 20 feet, and it comes up to this right here, and it can see everybody but Byron, and you can see that he's got this a spear that looks a lot different than the spears that the other guys had, and he raises it over his head, and he just goes and he starts gesticulating and like basically like beating his chest and making a basically like displaying his power to you.
Well, Theo, on base principle, is going to cast Armor of Agathis, grow Frost Armor, and then just kind of yell back, "Do you speak Common?"
Okay, what are the rest of you guys doing?
I'm going to stealth further forward.
Okay.
I'm gonna ready my bow.
Does that put me kitty corner with him?
Yeah, before you do that, go back to where you were, and we'll just say that you're gonna stealth forward. Because you guys rolled such horrible perception checks, you don't notice this until it's too late. But there are, around the perimeter of this area that you can see, there are a variety of these bullywugs that start to pop out of the undergrowth,
Oh god.
almost as if they're kind of surrounding you. Rhunar, what are you gonna do?
Now that
Just-
you're informed.
Just verbally, like what
I'm just gonna say, Byron, fall back to us.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
lot. There's a
man.
lot
Oh
of
my
them.
god.
So they just kind of pop up, and this guy's just kind of like, boom, boom, boom. And so the only person that tried to talk to him is Theo. He is going to move forward a little bit more, and he's looking around. And let's go ahead and let's stop there. We'll pick this up next week.
Oof.
Oh god.
Oh
Oh,
my
no.
We haven't
Yeah.
even gotten there yet.
Oh man. You're like, dude. One hit put me at half health, basically.
That may be part of the reason
1/3
you
health.
promptly armored up. It's like, A, maybe it's intimidating. B, temporary hit points now are great.